All right, next one, last one here before we go. What have you done for me lately? The hard to please seller. This is true story. Just talked to one of my agents, and if anyone's looking for a listing referral in Southwest Florida, we might have one brewing, right? So what do you do with this seller this seller, we've had 50 showings and an offer was about ready to come in. They haven't been really flexible in changing the price. And what do you do with a seller that basically has, and this was their deal. Their expectation, and a high expectation seller can come in a lot of flavors. This particular one did not look at the activity. Wouldn't you think it'd be normal the seller would be somewhat pleased that you're generating 50 showings? So is that outcome 1, 2, or 3? Well, it's not 3, it's outcome 2. It's showings and no activity. I mean, activity, no offers. This seller, and I've heard this several times, expected us to, quote, sell the house. The initial expectation was that we would be there for the showings. And of course, and that is also, I mean, I understand in luxury properties that you might handle, that may be commonplace and understandable because of the complexity and the security issues of the house. However, in the sweet spot market and price range, not so much. And if I have a seller that wants me to accompany showings, it's always about them, never us. And so one of the scripts that I would use, basically, go into, I understand, other than that, any other reason you wouldn't list with me, let's say, no, okay. And so tell me why that's important to you. And well, I just want to make sure someone's there to answer any questions. So what you're saying then, basically, then we have to make sure that the buyer's schedule, the other agent's schedule, and my schedule all have to line up. So the probability of that happening may not work out, and we may miss a buyer because of that. Is that what you want to happen? No, whatever. So that's one of the defenses you could have for that. It worked out where this particular seller expected us to, no, I don't care. I don't want you to be in the house. And that's the other thing. Does the other agent want you tagging along with them? And that's a detriment to the showing. And the seller said, well, no, you just stand outside. So basically we were no more than a door opener. Now it's evolved into the fact that this particular seller wants us to sell the home. And so imagine you've got a seller that had 50 showings. And what have you done for me lately? It's not sold. Why hasn't it been sold? Because it's not priced right. However, they're expecting us to be able to call the other agent and somehow sell the home. And I've had sellers like that before. Well, Denny, all you're doing is putting a sign in the yard and people are coming in to sell it, right? And we follow up on every showing we do. We follow up and talk to the other agent. So have you ever had a seller with unrealistic expectations like that? So how do you handle that? Now, so there's a lot of different ways that situations. However, let me just kind of give you a blueprint. I trust early on in the presentation, and not always, you will discover, understand the bell-shaped curve, right? The profit with a client is working in the heart of that bell-shaped curve. That's where the rational market exists. Write down rational market equals profitable market. Now, in the tails, we have what's called outliers. These are sellers that are unreasonable, and for whatever reason, no judgment, they are. And so decision number one has to be, where are they on the bell-shaped curve? Have you ever listed a property you thought was going to be great and the property was great? The challenge was the property owner. So understand that we don't list property, we list property owners. And so then when you meet with them up front, I have 3 criteria really for me to decide if I want to work with them. There's only 3. And if you can head this off at the pass, if you've got somebody who's going to be unrealistic, sometimes you're better off to say no to them up front. Here's my 3 criteria, then we'll close it for ahas. Number 1, I want them to understand this is a we thing, not a me thing. In this particular case, 50 showings, the market's speaking, the agent's speaking, and the seller's not listening. I know my agent has been, the demonstration of the 50 showing says that, look, we're close and not there. It would probably just need to be a tweak of the price. And maybe there could have been a condition issue they could have corrected and it could have helped. So number one, and I go through this with the sellers. This is a we thing, not a me thing. Number two is I want you to understand the concept of market momentum. And how do you think the market's working? Basically, is it working in your favor or working against you? And have you ever had that moment when you're on stage and you've only got one line in the school play and you just forgot it? I gave it to you in the wrong order, so that's why I ran it. It's really understand the concept of market momentum. Understand that this is a we thing, not a me thing. Here's the last one. They have to honor and understand the doctor-patient relationship. This will save you guys if you're newer. Jay and the newer agents, understand this and learn this, because sometimes you're better off to turn them down than let them down. The third criteria for me is they have to understand the concept of the doctor-patient relationship. I'm the doctor, they're the patient. The patient is relevant, not right. And when you have that mindset, if they know more than you, if they want to tell you how you should market the home, if they want to tell you how to do it, because this is how they did it in 1959 when they sold their last house, I have found a super duper cool sounding axiom. Sometimes it's easier to change the seller than change the seller. Meaning sometimes it's better to, like I say, look, I'd rather, turn you down than let you down than change the seller. The script that I would use with this particular seller would be this. So you want me to sell your home. All right. So let me ask you, when you sell your home, you're moving to Boston, good riddance, and you find a house that you don't like. It doesn't meet your family's needs. And I'm the agent up there. Coach me. What could I say to you that would cause you to buy a home you don't like? And just shut up.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Because if they want you to sell a house that's overpriced, it's the same question. What would work when you go to Boston? When you find a house you like and it's overpriced and the seller's not coming down, what script would work with you to cause you to pay more than market value for your home? For that home. Whatever, if that would work for you, I'll certainly do it. And you know what? They have no answer.